Bitcoin just smashed through a brand new all-time high, but this week wasn't just a moon mission, it was a trap, a fake out, and a perfect pivot if you knew where to look. Most traders got chopped up in that weekend noise. Our crew mapped it out days ahead and turned it into real results. If you want to see exactly how, keep watching because I'm breaking down every level, every trap, every confirmation, and the wins our community stacked on the way up to 116k. Hi. My name is Janet and this is Trade Travel Chill. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Just a reminder, I'm not here to spoon feed exact entry and exits. I'm here to break down what's happened, how the levels unfolded, and how you can read them for yourself next time. And hopefully you learn something new. With that being said, let's get into it. Let's start with what actually happened over the weekend. By now you should know the drill. We start here every week. Hopefully you guys have learned something new from our previous videos because this week was a repeat of other weekend traps that we have talked about before. We have a typical weekend trap where price just consolidates. Again, we've seen price move earlier than Sunday 5 p.m. New York. But there were signs that this move was going to happen, and that is open interest and volume. We know that when price is in consolidation, which is just our weekend trap, the volume is flat and open interest is decreasing or flat at the same time. This means people have gotten smarter and they aren't taking positions during the consolidation. So market maker needs to push the move to get retail to open new positions to build that liquidity. So out of our weekend trap, we did see price move to the upside, so it worked. We see that open interest start to increase, meaning traders are opening positions. We then see the move that caused liquidation was another spike to the upside, and this happened around Sunday 5 p.m. New York. From there, that led us into an M formation. The final spike clearing out shorts and inducing late long. That final pop printed the M formation, setting up the classic false move week beginning short into Monday's open. Here's what made that move even more powerful. Annii called this trap and the whole roadmap before it played out in her Sunday YouTube update. She didn't just repeat headlines, she linked the macro chessboard straight to the chart. She talks about the OPEC July 5th meeting with 8 major members agreeing to slash crude oil outputs for August. Less supply usually means higher oil prices unless demand slips. If oil drops, that's historically bullish for stocks and risk assets like crypto. She mentions Trump's tariffs, the 90-day pause expiring past July the 9th, which is a big watch for supply chain sentiment and global market mood. However, an update from our macroeconomist Jared shows White House officially extends the tariff deadline to August the 1st. Chart-wise, she showed the multi-decade Dixie Weekly channel sitting right on the bottom edge. She covers the S&P and the Nasdaq and what she was looking for there. And for BTC, she covers the weekly time frame and talks about this daily time frame consolidation where she saw it as ammo, not resistance. The bigger structure still points to new all-time highs, and now we are here. She then covers why the TBD system is not Elliott waves, different logic, different structure. To understand why, consider grabbing yourself a membership so you can see the differences. She flagged the spot CVD too. We want any move up backed by real spot buying, not just a leverage futures squeeze. And her final warning, expect a weekend trap, a quick fake move to pull traders in before the real direction kicks in, which is exactly what happened. So off this trap, we see Monday give us the false move week beginning day trade to the downside. Meanwhile, Annii hosted a live session walking the community through that short structure live, showing exactly where to react. This is what sets us apart. Not just saying maybe up, maybe down, but mapping levels before the candle hit and trading together as a community. While that trap snapped shut, the community wasn't caught napping. SilverWolf dropped his Monday blog, basically your permission slip to let go of any bag dragging you down. He explained smart money rotation, how big capital naturally flows from BTC into the right altcoins when conditions line up. But here's the reality check. A lot of those top altcoins from 2021, they're ghost towns now. No dev team, no partnerships, no volume. If you're still waiting for a miracle comeback, that's like going for a night out trying to call your ex. Don't do it. Not going to happen. That's not what he said, but he said something along the lines of that. So where's the smart money actually going? SilverWolf mapped it. AI like Tao, TAO, the backbone for decentralized machine learning. DeFi like Aave, still the top lending player, now expanding with its own stablecoin, and other flows like Deepin, Interrope, RWAs, but if you want the full portfolio, it's in the blog or inside TTC. That's where the serious research lives. With Monday's false move week beginning day trade to the downside in, we see Tuesday give us the reversal pivot point for the 3-day swing. This one was a little trickier, as there was no clean break of the 50 EMA, so you had to be precise. It is during this time here that I host the Asia live trading session, where we caught this pivot low together. If Asia spikes the low and it's a vector candle, bullish candle, then I'd take a shot on it as a scalp to trade back into my target, and that's a 3-to-1, and you're just trading the Asia range. So if we go back to Tuesday's price action, which is here, and I hit the replay mode, drop down to the 5-minute time frame because it was anticipated as a scalp, we can see that we got that move down. We got the vector candle spike below this low of the day level, also presented as a vector candle on the 15-minute time frame, and our target was back into this red vector candle here. So that gave us a 3-to-1 trade. So a few of us actually caught this position together, and I'm not sure if everyone held on to that position, but I had closed mine. The reason being, we did not get volume through the 50 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, and this led me to be cautious that there may still be downside to come. But now after the fact, we can see that this did put in the pivot low that led us into the 3-day swing. And this is the discipline that keeps you in the game. When it comes to trading, there is always going to be another setup. And even after that rise level happened, we ended up in consolidation and things started to get a little choppy. Throughout the week, Jared dropped more macro content in Discord, and Annii fired off a quick 5-minute video into the London session to keep everyone dialed in. So now I'm just going to move out to the 1-hour chart so we can see this more clearly. With Tuesday now providing us the pivot low for the 3-day swing, we see price move out and into consolidation. Now it is at this point of these big green candles where I host a live call at the end of the UK session to give everyone the heads up on what to look for going into the US session. Do I reckon US will reverse? I hope not. Now that we've broken the initial high of the day, I'm going to say that the initial low of the day will be intact, and that will create the low of the day for tomorrow. So as long as we can get a higher low, but no FOMO. This would be your boardroom for the 1-hour time frame, and then we have a W within the boardroom. Now does that make sense to get a W within the boardroom? Need to make a move to induce traders to take a position, because that open interest, like, it's not flat, but it's not really rising at the same time. This move is inducing traders to take a position, so we definitely want it, ideally continue breaking out, like don't just stop here, but a US session, come back, give us a higher low, and then that would be our entry to go long. If that doesn't happen, then I'd just sit out, because it's possible that they're just extending the range. So when we come back to price action on Wednesday, around that time, this is the move that was happening. And then we can see that price did come back to create a higher low before taking off for another rise level on the 15-minute time frame. The initial low of the day at the time was here, and I mentioned that the initial high of the day had broken. So I was leaning towards price creating a higher low, and this initial low of the day setting the low of the day for tomorrow. Now, if you don't know what the low of the day and high of the day is, if we were looking at Thursday's price action, we want to mark out the low and high of the day of the previous day. So if we look at this price action during Wednesday, the lowest point price went to is here. That marks the low of the day. The highest point price went to during that day is here. That marks the high of the day. Now our indicator works this all out for you. So if we look at today's price action, it is Friday, and we can see that the high of the day has been marked out for us and the low of the day has been marked out for us. The same goes for the high of the week and the low of the week. You want to mark out the lowest point price went to in the previous week and the highest point price went to the previous week. That is going to give you your high of the week and low of the week, and these become key levels to watch, and they are the levels that we watch as support and resistance levels, and they are not subjective. You cannot change where the high or low of the week is, where the high low of the day is. It is a fact that the low of the week is here. And you can see that price bounced straight off our high of the week level and then epic move to the upside. But now I'm getting ahead of myself. But guys, I'm not the only person who seen it this way. We have other cabin crew members, which is our pro traders team, call the exact same setup, and you would expect that because we all trade TBD. On Monday, we had Annii point out what he was looking for leading into false move week beginning, and if you follow the arrows on his chart, he picked it to a T. On Wednesday, we had Cajun Spice giving his update on what he thought about price, and price has followed his green arrow here, leading into Wednesday, which is the call that I just finished showing you guys. This is what I was looking for, high or low before a breakout to the upside. Also mentioned this move needs to prove with a high or low, so no rush. We know US quite often opens with manipulation, so be prepared for the manipulation and focus on looking for the high or low of one of our key areas. And let's not forget the GOAT. Annii has been constantly updating us every step of the way with in-depth, detailed, written updates and little videos along the way. And if you're not convinced from watching this channel that the method works, look at Ryan P in our Discord. This guy swapped a 300k a year in high-stakes sales job for trading, but it wasn't overnight. He battled panic attacks, depression, built his discipline candle by candle. This screenshot provides a good overview of Ryan's performance over the past 7 days. Let's break down what it tells us about Ryan and assess the fees. So this is his 7-day history. His total realized P&L is $10,729 US dollars, which is equivalent to 16,500 Australian dollars. This is a significant profit over a 7-day period, indicating a successful trading strategy during this time frame. Hashtag TBD. His win rate is 57.44%. This is a respectable win rate. It means that slightly more than half of his trades were profitable. A win rate above 50% is generally good, especially when combined with a positive risk to reward ratio. The number of closed trades in profit, 27 to 20 losses. His max profit, 3,155 AUD. This indicates he had at least one very successful trade. His max loss being 1,668 Australian dollars, which shows his largest single loss. With a P&L ratio of 2.3, this is excellent. It means for every dollar he risked, he made $2.43. This confirms that his winning trades on average are significantly larger than his losing trades, which is a hallmark of a consistently profitable trader. Now he's putting up 10k USDT profit in a week, 57% win rate, P&L ratio of 2.3. That's not luck. That's structure, resilience, and doing the work. Ryan, you're proof that this can be more than theory. So back to the charts. Out of the high or low that we've seen in the US session, we got a clean push to the upside before being put back into another consolidation range. And now it is Thursday. Pedro kept everyone in sync with a midweek YouTube update, so shout out to him for keeping the whole community tuned in. Now inside Discord, the crew was dialed in. Trade alerts, setups, macro updates, every piece clicked like a perfect puzzle. Everyone does their bit so the whole picture makes sense. We have Cajun Spice put out an alert on XRP with his take profits getting hit. He waited for the retrace to happen into this area and took profit at the high of the week. Nice one, Spicy. We had Miha from our Trade Alert team put out a trade alert on INJ, and we can see that some of our community have taken this one. Why is it always my mother? And banked some profits on that as well. We had another trade alert put out on SUI, and this one has hit all of these take profit areas as well. So let's go and have a quick look at SUI. So here we can see that they were looking at this W formation. Price then broke the initial high of the day, and they were waiting for a retrace back down. So when we go to the chart, this is the W formation they were looking at. Price then did what they were expecting, broke out, then came back to the top of the entry range, held the 50 EMA, and then launched from there. Now I believe the take profit was the high of the day. Yeah, it was. So that would have been here. But if traders had decided to hold this trade, then you're laughing, because SUI absolutely took off and now is sitting at a 10.67 to 1 trade. Massive. Nice call on that one, Katie. I also put out a setup on SAY, which was yesterday, Thursday, and this is what I was looking for, targeting the high of the week area, and potentially, if we can, get all the way back to the peak formation high, top of that triangle. And if you see my notes here, the 1 hour, rise level 1 in, however this W needs to prove with a high or low. 15-minute time frame, this is when I drop to the lower time frame for signs of that higher low. If Asia can consolidate or give us signs of the initial low of the day being set, then this could provide the entry into rise level 2 for the 1 hour time frame. So if we go back to the actual chart, this point here was the initial low of the day. We then got that consolidation throughout Asia and the US session. Now, if your stop loss had been placed below the initial low of the day or even previous market structure, like what I have marked out here in my chart, stop loss range, and you had taken an entry, then your stop loss would have been safe from this little move down out of that consolidation range. So anyway, we are now laughing all the way to the bank because this thing has not stopped. We have reached my final target, which is the peak formation high here, and now we're starting to move into a previous unrecovered vector candle on the daily time frame. But let's just zoom out for a second. When you look at the daily time frame, it's also in a higher time frame triangle, so say may still have some room left to boogie in it. Currently this trade is sitting at a 33-1. That is massive. So if you haven't secured any profits on your trade, I don't think now's the time to make like Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond. I would be banking some profits, especially because it is Friday. Shout out to Roy Kent, has a chart in here with a clean setup out of Asia session on Pingu. Pingu absolutely blew, and that's a massive risk to reward on that one too. So nice one, Roy. Progressive Martian and Mackie D, they're part of our Trade Alerts team. They've been absolutely nailing it, and everyone has caught a trade. This makes me so happy. 39-1 risk to reward on ETH. Nice one, Neil. 111% on BTC, angel numbers, slaying on XRP and Pingu as well. Doge, Annii slayed on I&J as well at 143.35%. Nice one. He got in this yesterday, I'm going to assume, in the US session, which means he got the exact same trade that my mother caught yesterday. This just goes to show that we all trade the same method and everyone entered based on the TBD system. NJ, part of our cabin crew team, 9-1 scalp. TBD for the win. And honestly, I just fucking love when everyone catches the move together, banking profit, stacking wins side by side, because trading can be so damn lonely if you're just sitting there staring at your chart by yourself. I'd rather see everyone absolutely nail it together than just flexing solo. So seeing the community absolutely slay it this week with setups hit, trades caught and profits locked in, that's the best feeling ever, and that is what this is all about. Now, if you need an exchange to slay your trades on, consider checking out Bitunix. It is non-KYC, no VPN, so you can use it from anywhere in the world. Bitunix offers both spot and futures trading, and they have an earn program which allows you to stake your crypto to earn passive interest on it. By using the link in the description below, you'll get a lifetime 20% trading fee rebate on all of your trades, and that's not just a one-time welcome bonus, it's for life. So if you're looking for a reliable exchange to trade on, check out Bitunix and create your own account by using the link in the description below. So back to price action, we can see that US session clearly broke the high of the week on increasing volume before going back into consolidation. Now, it was during this consolidation that Annii put out an update on what she was looking for. With UK having just taken Asia's low liquidity, you have to watch for signs that US is going to take its high liquidity before any sort of reversal. If you're not sure, maybe wait to see if we do retest the high of the week and then see how price reacts there. And this is her chart at the time. Now, when we go back to price action, you can clearly see price came back perfectly during the start of the US session to retest the high of the week, giving our members an entry before the next epic pump. Crazy. And even if you missed that one, then you could have taken an entry once we managed to hold above the 50 EMA here, because you know that the start of the US session manipulation is done with, and put your stop loss below that US session open candle, and you still would have caught a decent trade. And now it is Friday and we are here with Bitcoin pushing a new all-time high of 118,000, but is this it? Luckily for you, Annii has put out a YouTube video with her thoughts around the all-time high and what she's looking for leading into the weekend. If you want to stay ahead and get real in-time updates as price is happening, and you're serious about taking trading to the next level, understanding macro trends and getting ahead of the curve, then you absolutely need to be in the Trade Travel Chill community. We offer a comprehensive suite of resources designed to empower you as a trader. You'll get access to our community Discord where our expert analysis will share real-time insights, trade setups, and answer your questions directly. We provide in-depth market analysis, breaking down complex global events and actionable trading strategies. And for those that want to deepen their knowledge, we have an ever-growing library of educational content from beginner, basic to advanced trading techniques. We're all about empowering you with the tools and knowledge to make informed decisions. And you don't have to take our word for it. We're so confident in the value that we provide and offer at Trade Travel Chill that you can enjoy a 48-hour money-back guarantee. And that means you can join, experience everything that Trade Travel Chill has to offer, and if it's not for you within the first 2 days, you get your money back, no questions asked. So there's absolutely nothing to lose and a world of trading knowledge to gain. If you're interested, the link is in the description below. If you're sitting in profit, don't be shy about banking some. Protect your capital, protect your trade. There's no prize for holding through noise just to give it back. There's always another clean setup, another level, another chance to run it up. So no FOMO, stay disciplined. That's what keeps you in the game for the long run.